liver and gallbladder. So in this we discuss the competencies, liver and gallbladder, liver biopsy, that is the site of needle puncture, then referred pain in cholecystitis and obstructive jaundice. First we'll start with liver and gallbladder. The picture showing the liver visceral surface. So liver is a large organ in the body. Its upper surface is related entirely to the diaphragm. Liver in the normal subject is not palpable on clinical examination. And there is one bare area of liver. Visceral surface will be resting on abdominal esophagus, stomach, upper duodenum, hepatic flexure of colon, right kidney, right suprarenal gland and gallbladder. Its peritoneal attachments are present except in the bare area. Peritoneum from the diaphragm reflects onto liver as upper and lower layers of coronary ligament. So entire liver is enclosed in peritoneum. Peritoneal attachments to the right, these coronary ligaments fuse to form right triangular ligament. Falciform ligament runs to the liver from umbilicus, carrying ligamentum teres or the obliterated umbilical vein in its free border. The ligamentum teres passes into the fissure. Falciform ligament passes to the dome of the liver and then divides. Its right limb joins the upper layer of coronary ligament, while its left limb stretches out as long, narrow left triangular ligament. So the surfaces showing different relations, that is esophageal impression, then we have gastric impression, then we have the transverse colon impression all along the anterior margin. Then you can see the renal impression, then the duodenal impression, and above the renal impression we can see the impression of the suprarenal gland. Left triangular ligament joins the lesser omentum. Lesser omentum arises from the fissures of the porta hepatis and ligamentum venosum to attach to along the lesser curvature of the stomach. Anatomical subdivisions. The superior aspect of the liver is divided by falciform ligament into anatomical right and left lobes. On the visceral surface or posterior-inferiorly, it bears an H-shaped arrangement of fossae. Anteriorly and to the right is the fossa for gallbladder. Posteriorly and to the right is the groove for inferior vena cava. Anteriorly and to the left is groove for ligamentum teres, and posteriorly and to the left is fissure for ligamentum venosum. The crossbar of H is the porta hepatis as shown in the picture. Two additional lobes are marked out on the visceral aspect of the liver between the limbs of H, that is quadrate lobe anteriorly and the caudate lobe behind. Porta hepatis measures about 5 cm in length. It is a triad of important structures. These are right and left hepatic ducts fusing to form the common hepatic duct. Anteriorly and to the right, hepatic artery is dividing into right and left branches posteriorly and to the left. Portal vein is dividing into right and left branches posteriorly. In addition to this portal triad, there are autonomic nerves, parasympathetic coming from the hepatic branch of the anterior vagus nerve, and the sympathetic coming from the celiac plexus or celiac axis. And there are portal lymph nodes. Segmental anatomy. Areas of supply of right and left arteries with the accompanying portal vein and bile duct branches can be demarcated by a line, as shown in the picture. The line passing through inferior vena cava and the fossa of the gallbladder into roughly equal right and left lobes. These can be subdivided into further 8 segments, 4 to each functional lobe, each segment with its individual blood supply and biliary drainage. This arrangement allows the surgeon to carry out segmental hepatic resections. Hepatic veins. Portal venous blood returns to the inferior vena cava via hepatic veins. 3 major veins are the right, left and the central hepatic veins. These pass in posterior-superior direction through the liver substance to drain into the inferior vena cava at the posterior-superior aspect of the liver. Liver biopsy. Intercostal technique provides the whole transverse depth of right lobe for the puncture. Intra-abdominal viscera are avoided. It does involve puncture of the pleural cavity. The site chosen is 8th, 9th and 10th intercostal space in the mid and anterior axillary line. Place must be a point of maximum dullness to percussion. Subcostal technique is confined to liver and liver enlarges to livers enlarged at least 6 centimeters below the right costal margin, or in those in patients with the disease of right chest. It has advantages that specific lesion on the surface of the liver may be aimed at and punctured. Otherwise, the site chosen is below and to the right of the Giffard process in the mid-clavicular line, the needle being directed to the right and cephalically. Referred pain in cholecystitis. Patients present with acute constant pain localized in the right upper abdomen. It radiates to the epigastrium and also to the posterior right scapula or right shoulder area. Pain is usually precipitated by ingestion of fatty meal and associated with nausea and vomiting. Acute presentation is usually preceded by several attacks of biliary colic. Typical patient is usually an obese, fair female in the 4th decade of life, history of multiple pregnancies or taking birth control pills. Family history of gallstones may be present. On abdominal examination reveals tenderness in the right upper quadrant with positive Murphy sign. Inspiratory arrest with manual pressure below the gallbladder, that is Murphy sign, and a palpable gallbladder may be elicited. Obstructive jaundice. The intrahepatic ducts converge to form right and left hepatic ducts, exit the liver and join to become the common hepatic duct. Cystic duct branches off from the common hepatic duct and drains into gallbladder. Common hepatic duct continues towards the duodenum and is called the bile duct after its takeoff from the cystic duct. Common bile duct then joins the pancreatic duct prior to draining into the second portion of the duodenum. Normal caliber of the common bile duct and the pancreatic duct are less than 8 millimeters and 4 millimeters respectively. In obstructive jaundice, there is impediment to the flow of bile due to partial or complete obstruction to the extrahepatic biliary passage. Obstruction can occur within the biliary ducts themselves or more distal within the pancreas. Post-hepatic obstruction can be located in several different areas of the biliary tree due to a variety of benign causes like cholelithiasis and bile duct stricture, malignant pathology of pancreas, pediatric biliary atresia, iatrogenic causes like common bile duct injury following laparoscopic cholecystectomy, and ischemic stricture from cautery or hepatic artery injury. Then we go to competency, that is the clinical importance of the Cal's triangle. Anatomical landmark of special importance for cholecystectomy is the cholecystohepatic triangle, commonly known as Cal's triangle, as can be seen in the picture. An accurate translation of the Cal's triangle is as follows. The triangle is not exactly equilateral, but rather an isosceles triangle, a triangle that has two sides of equal length. Superior and inferior sides represent the cystic artery and cystic duct and are equal and a little longer than the part of the hepatic duct that enters into the formation of the triangle, as you can see in the picture. Cystic artery, cystic duct and the hepatic duct. In original description, the triangle was bounded by cystic duct inferiorly, common hepatic duct medially and cystic artery superiorly. In his thesis, Callet also commented that 1/3 of the cases the hepatic artery contributed to the superior border of the triangle. Modern triangle of Callet. The agreed modern surgical definition differs from the original description in that superiorly inferior surface of the liver, inferiorly by the cystic duct and medially by the common hepatic duct. Modern triangle appears to provide the surgeon with a more constant triangle boundary, one that would otherwise be variable given the occasionally inconsistent pattern of cystic artery. Careful dissection within this anatomical space allows for ligation or clipping and the division of the cystic artery and cystic duct during cholecystectomy. Modern interpretation of colon triangle described above is one that is used in the present day surgeons. The contents of the triangle usually include the right hepatic artery, cystic artery and cystic lymph node of Lund. Thank you.